What's poppin', everybody? It's your boy SnowyKurama, and I am your coach of the Season 5 Chicago White Sox for the World Pokemon Federation, or the WPF if you like acronyms better than words. And I'm here for your Week 6 matchup against Ollie Boy and the Ipswich Infernapes. Look at that switch up from last time. We actually know who our opponent is and what his mons are. Look at that. So yeah, this is a... I don't actually remember what his record is prior to this. I want to say it's 4-1. I do want to say it's 4-1, yeah. So he's got a lot of wins under his belt, and we are just doing okay. So this will be a very interesting match to see for sure. But if you guys are hyped and excited for the next week in WPF, press that like, hit that subscribe, and we are going to go into the team. At least his team. He's got a Tapu Koko, Gliscor, Umbreon, Seismitoad, Garbodor, Drifblim, Mega Scizor, Latios, Chestnut, Regice, and Komala. So, on first look at his team, he's got freaking Scizor and Latios, and Tapu Koko also got lots of nice physical moves in the DLC, like close combat and play rough, so a bandage set is definitely possible. And I believe I prepped for either banded or scarfed. I think I've got outs for both at the very least. I think I was leaning more towards banded. Gliscor's crazy nice, especially with the poison heal, being able to heal like 12% each turn, which is nuts. At least I think it's 12. I could be wrong. It seemed like it was 12 in battle, I'll tell you what right now. Umbreon's a nice wall. Seismitoad's crazy nice. We have hazards here. Drifblim, I don't know what you like to do besides, I know now you have Unburden. Freaking Scizor is a Scizor. Technician boosted 150 attack stat. It's not something to just dirtle around. You have Latios, which I prepped immensely for because I thought this thing was just gonna fuck me over. We got Chestnut, which is a Chestnut, I guess. I'm just sort of going through the team the second time for no reason. But I might as well get into my own team. So we have a Pony Island Arkeldeo, which on first glance, looking at his team and looking at this thing, it pretty much covers it really nicely. We have Hydro Pump here for the Gliscor doesn't like Hydro Pump. It's also a nice stab in case we don't know what the hell we want to do. And Secret Sword is here. Of course, we have the Umbreon who doesn't like it. We also have the Scizor who takes neutral damage from it, as well as the Regice and Komala, which don't like fighting moves at all. Icy Wind is here specifically for the Latios so that we can, on the switch, a possible switch, so that he is slower than us, and then we can knock it out with like Hydro Pump or maybe even another Icy Wind, because I think Icy Wind does about half, maybe a little bit more, to a regular Latios, so that's something. Why doesn't this thing get Ice Beam? That's a rant for another time. And then Hidden Power Grass is here so that we don't get walled by Seismitoad, even though Secret Sword would do quite a bit, but you'll find that in battle, Hidden Power Grass was a definite a godsend. Sir Mix-a-Lot is here back again, the Sandaconda. We have a specially defensive set here so that we can maybe glare the Latios instead of, just in case Keldeo's down for the count. We have our usual move set here. Nothing doing, nothing changing. I was considering Dragon Rush, but I didn't really want to start missing in case the Latios was in. Lots of Latios prep here, ladies and gentlemen. You'll find that through the rest of the team. But we have our Earthquake that can hit all of his mons that are not in the air, and the Stone Edge that can hit the ones that are, like Drifblim, and the ones that aren't, like Tapu Koko, who doesn't really appreciate a ground move, and so that we're not stalled out by Gliscor. If we're in against that thing, imagine getting a Glare off in place of the Toxic Orb. Wouldn't that just be something? I've always wanted to do that, but never been able to pull it off, or maybe even burning it, rather. But speaking of burn, we have Havoc, our Rotom, Colberberry Rotom. I haven't seen this boy in a while, but here he is again. We have Will-O-Wisp, Defog, Pain Split, and Hidden Power Ice. I learned my lesson from last time. We don't not run some hazard removal and our freaking team plan. So here we have Defog. This thing was originally dual screens, but I wanted this instead, the Defog. So we have Will-O-Wisp because Scizor is nasty. It'll also be nice against Tapu Koko, supposing that it is a banded set. And I guess against the Chestnut and the Kamala in case it is the big ol' meme of Last Resort Sleep Talk, which is just devastating. Colbert Berry, you know, knockoff damage, we don't really like it. And Hidden Power Ice is here because he actually has quite a bit of ice weaknesses. Like, if you gave me a Freeze-Dry Mon, this match would have been a non-issue, or at least less of an issue, I think, because of the Seismitoad. But Gliscor doesn't like ice, as well as Drifblim, and Latios, of course. He's got a Regice, so he can resist that, as well as a Mega Scizor. But we also have the burning thing for that, so it's whatever. Pain Split, of course, is to heal ourselves back up and do some little bit of chip damage for the rest of our team members to go ahead and take care of. But we have Toxtricity, Sound of Music, of course, nickname. We have a Life Orb. We are a Shift Gear set with Fire Punch because, you know, Mega Scizor is scary as shit. We have Boom Burst because Boom Burst, like, does freaking damage out the ass all the time. And then Sludge Wave, we have a Chestnut that doesn't like it, as well as a Tapu Koko, which would not like to take one of those. I figured because of Seismitoad being a switch into this thing, that Overdrive would not be the best bring, even though Drifblim would have been, would not have liked it a lot at all. But he also's got a Gliscor, so ground moves and Toxtricity don't exactly get well along, so I thought that Sludge Wave would have been a better bring than Overdrive. We also have our Melmetal because who goes in a battle without the goddamn Melmetal? We're going back to our roots here with a max HP, max Spadef set. We have Double Iron Bash, of course. We have Earthquake because of the Tapu Koko, as well as the Garbodor. And anything else that does not want to take an Earthquake. And Ice Punch because of the Gliscor and the Latios. So this thing should be able to do a lot. Plus Double Iron Bash does, it does 100 min, not min, but 100 max to the Umbreon. Supposing, even if it's max HP and defense, I believe. I could be wrong on that. I did the calc like yesterday and haven't done it since. I couldn't think of another team member to toss on the team, so I thought that a Parting Shot Incineroar set might be best, just in case of the choiced items like Banded and Scarf. Nope. Specs. There it is. I mean, Scarf is an option, but I'm talking more of the damage-doing moves or items rather than the speedy one. So we have Parting Shot here, of course. We have Flare Blitz that takes care of the Regice, which would be a problem for our Ice users. And then we have Close Combat, which is nice for Regice and Komala, as well as looking at the list. Scizor doesn't like it. Oh yeah, Scizor also doesn't like the Flare Blitz, but taking a Close Combat on the Switch probably isn't the best idea. Plus there's an Umbreon here that doesn't like Close Combat. And then Darkest Lariat, of course, for the Latios and the Drifblim. See, didn't we prep for Latios quite a bit? This speed stat right here at Scarf puts us at 351, which outspeeds the Latios by 1 point. And then we put the rest in HP because why the fuck not? Probably should have done that and this to creep the speed creep, even though it's not really a speed creep. But it would have also given us our odd number HP, which Mons weak to rocks really appreciate. But now that you've seen the team, we can just jump right on into the fighty fight. And here we are, we have the Tapu Koko, the Seismitoad, Chestnut, Gliscor, Drifblim, and the Mega Scizor. No Latios. I prepped half of my damn team to take on a Latios, and it's not here. So that's a little infuriating, but it can also be quite useful because that's one less thing that I was scared of that I'll have to deal with. So I actually tried a whole new strategy this week, and instead of thinking about my moves too much and taking like an hour and a half for the whole battle, I decided to just blare Marnie's theme on YouTube, go balls to the wall, and just press my buttons. So you'll see here how well that might have worked out. So we press play. I think I just go Incineroar here. Nope, I actually go straight up the Sandaconda. I probably should have went Incineroar, so I could have just parting shotted right out of there in case of, Seismitoad. But I have this tendency to forget to set up rocks, so I decided why not just toss my rocker out there first turn, get him up, and then go from there. I switch out to Rotom immediately because I did not want to take an Earth Power. No, not Earth Power, a Scald. And I thought it would have been nice for whatever reason. It was really more so I didn't take a Scald. He sets up his rocks though. I think I just defog here. No, I Will-O-Wisp so that we can get some chip. What really sucks is he knocks off here. So I have to use my Colbur Berry early. When this Colbur Berry was here for the Scizor. So that's kind of bad on my part, but I didn't have very high hopes going into this battle since I kept getting fucked over left and right by everyone else's prep and whatnot. He goes Gliscor here. I just defog away these rocks because I don't want him on my side. He gets his Toxic Orb here for free, not like I could do too much else. He was already burned on Seismitoad, so I wasn't about to burn him again. But yeah, we didn't want the rocks here. He Toxics me so that he can whittle me away, and we do a nice 49% to the Gliscor with our Hidden Power Ice. I believe I switch out here because I thought he might go for knockoff again or some other dark move to kill me. So his Poison Heal, he got back, yeah, roughly 12. I wasn't crazy. Yeah, I go out to Keldeo here because I figured my Icy Wind or my Hydro Pump would be able to do a lot. Plus, it didn't seem like he could do too much to me. It would just suck if my Life Orb got knocked off. He goes out to Tapu Koko, and I kind of wish I went Hydro Pump at this point because Hydro Pump actually kills or comes damn close to killing Tapu Koko, which would have been nice to have a weakened Koko on his side, although if he was Roost, that wouldn't be great. But I actually think that I do kill. I actually want to make that calc here real quick. Hold up. Yeah, you can see here Hydro Pump would have done everything to it, so I kind of wish that I did that rather than the Icy Wind, which would do close to half. Looking at it, it did 34, which is less than that, so I guess he might have been more HP, maybe even more Spadef centered. But even if this thing was banded, which is what I was thinking it would be, we'd be faster than it by quite a bit. But if it's scarfed, work with me, computer, then it's still faster. Hell, even just 1 point slower than it usually would have been. And how much does... okay. So then we see here that he's faster. I decided, keep going with the balls to the wall technique. Dazzling Gleam does 75, so that does confirm, as you can see from the calc, that he was indeed scarfed because Dazzling Gleam does 84 max. I lived it on 16. Hydro Bump does the damage, and that is a Koko that I don't have to worry about. That does, however, mean that my Keldeo is low as fuck on health, which is very unfortunate because it would have been nice for the Gliscor, the Drifblim that's now out here, as well as the Seismitoad, maybe even whittling down the Chestnut. This thing is just a bomb to my opponent's current build, and it's pretty much gone, essentially. It has one more attack in it, barring rocks. So we go ahead and go out to Rotom because I thought maybe it would want to use a flying move for whatever reason. But it's Shadow Balled instead, so we're hurt a bunch, and we go ahead and just take the last Shadow Ball. I mean, we don't have rocks up, so it's not like... It would have been nice to keep her in the defog, but I didn't want anything else on my team to really take another Shadow Ball, so I decided just to get something in for clean. You can obviously see here that it's unburdened since it used the seed and none of the other abilities. Makes sense. So I'm just assuming this thing is just like max offensive. We get a Willow here. I just planned on glaring so that we can take its speed back down to where it probably less than what it was, because I think Unburden does double speed, I believe. So yeah, it cuts it right in half. It's slower than it used to be. And we have a Shed Skin Mon, so we don't really care about the burn too much. We just play some games here a little bit. Set up my own rocks finally so that we can do some shit. He Shadow Balls me. I'm a Spadef because of the Latios prep. So we just take Shadow Balls like they're my freaking breakfast. He keeps Willowing me, of course, so he doesn't take as much damage. And it's also kind of pointless to switch out, otherwise he loses all of his boosts. But he switches out anyway. I went Incineroar because I was predicting him to keep Willowing me, and this thing can't be Will-O-Wisped, so. But this Incineroar play ended up working out really, really well because here's a Scizor. He goes out into his Drifblim. I think I Parting Shot here, didn't I? Nope, I Flare Blitzed. I just knocked him right out. Didn't do anything. Balls to the wall again. So here, I just switch out into my Keldeo, hoping that, kind of sacking it off in a sense, I think. Which wasn't really a great play, granted, considering there's nothing else on my team that would have been able to take care of the Seismitoad, I think. But, I mean, I guess it worked out. I didn't want to sack Keldeo, but I didn't see any other way without damaging all my Mons. But it ended up working out because he set up his rocks. Our Hidden Power Grass takes it right out, and Keldeo goes down with it. It did its thing by breaking a good third of his team, which is dope. But now the rest of our team can hopefully take care of it. He goes out to his Chestnut. I go Incineroar, and we have a starter battle. Our Intimidate is here to, do some Intimidate damage, I guess. Damage? Stat lowering. I don't know. Still messed up. He goes Gliscor here. I think I just Parting Shot. Yeah, I did, because I figured that he would switch. So I went out to Melmetal because he hasn't hit the field yet. Plus he's got an Ice Punch for the Gliscor that just came in. Earthquake shouldn't be doing a lot. I was actually wondering if I should have subbed there, because then my Melmetal would have more HP later on. It wouldn't have taken another Earthquake for damage. Instead the sub would have taken it, and then I could have just Ice Punched again. But Ice Punch did quite a bit to the Gliscor, as you can see. That's our Melmetal. And I just decided to go ahead and keep doing that. So that's a nice and dead Gliscor. It's now in our favor as far as Mons go. Chestnut comes out. I go out to my Spadef Sandaconda because I was thinking that a Glare on this thing would be nice. And even if he switches out to Scizor for whatever reason, a Glare there too would be pretty cool. So as you see, Scizor comes in. I think, yep, there's the Glare. So that is a slowed down Scizor, which is really nice for my team. I go out to Incineroar myself to go ahead and take its HP, not HP, but its attack stat down even lower. He uses a knockoff on me, which is just fine, because it's not like I'd need my Scarf for the Chestnut anyway, really. Unless he is max speed. Which I don't think he is. I didn't think he ever was. But yeah, knockoff did not much, as you can see. Even Bullet Punch was calced out to not do a whole bunch after seeing, oh shit, I'm actually starting to win. So we go with the Kamikaze Flare blitzing Incineroar here, just taking the lead from our Keldeo. And then we go out to Toxtricity, who hasn't hit the field yet once. I figured that a poison move here on the Chestnut would have been GG's. And as you can see here, it wasn't the case because it turns out he is Spadef with an Assault Vest, as I found out after the battle. So he's Assault Vest here. I figured I'll go out to my Sandaconda to go ahead and Glare him so that my Melmetal can outspeed. But I honestly And I misplay here a little bit by going out into Melmetal eventually. It didn't happen. I tried to chip away at him, and then I went to Melmetal. I think I was trying to gauge just how much defense he might have before going out into Melmetal, because I kind of wanted the differential a little bit. I didn't want to just 1-0 him. So he goes to Drain Punch, does quite a bit to me, and then here's where Melmetal kind of just earns his keep here. We got the crit double Iron Bash, and that won us the match. So yeah, we are back in the game a little bit. We are 3-3 now. He is 4-2, I believe, which, I mean, he puts it, he's higher than us still, but yeah, it was a great match. It's definitely keeping me a little bit more motivated to keep going with this, as I was actually contemplating not doing WPF content after this because of just how much I was losing in devastating ways. But yeah, Melmetal pulled through. It turns out from the way his EVs were, I would have done 50 minimum to him with my double Iron Bash, so the roll was in my favor. And then he could have just Drain Punched me there, got back his HP, and then he also had Seed Bomb for my Spadef Sandaconda. So he could have definitely won if I didn't get the crit, or if the roll decided to leave him at 2. But great game to Ollie. Our next opponent, who has reached out to me just like moments after this match took place, is Dawson, but I don't remember what his team name is. I don't. I'm gonna look that up real quick. Dawson and the Quebec Snortics is our Week 7 opponent. With 4 weeks left in the match, how do you think we're going to be doing? I personally think that we're just going to be having fun. Probably not going to be trying to make playoffs, as that's a lot of pressure. And I've got summer classes coming up, as well as more leagues coming up, as well as trying to get a job. So it's a lot on my plate. But as long as we can have some fun, that's really the most important thing about Pokemon, in my opinion. So yeah, like this video if you haven't already. Subscribe if you're new to the channel and want some more SnowyKurama goodness with the Giraffe League battles and some other Pokemon content in the works. Tickle that bell so you know when I'm uploading. And with all that being said and more, this has been your boy, SnowyKurama. See you in the next video. Goodbye.